Good afternoon, Austin. How have you been since our last session?
Hi. Um, I've been okay, I guess. I had same old, same old.
Okay, well, let's check in on your goal from last time about exploring your relationship with alcohol. How has that been going lately?
Honestly, it's not great. It's been tough. I find myself drinking more than I want to, and it's difficult because I feel like I shouldn't be, but I still feel the need to.
Okay, so sounds like it's been a little bit challenging. Can you tell me more about the situations and whether you find yourself drinking more than you'd like to?
Yeah. Um, in the past, it has usually been because of stress or depression. I like to use it to get myself out of those, almost like an escape. But recently, I feel like it has been a lot more often. And I don't know if it's because I'm going through depression or a depressive state, or if it's just I feel the need to drink more.
Okay, yeah, I hear you. So it sounds like alcohol has kind of become this coping mechanism for you during these rough times, like when you're stressed or when you're feeling sad or depressed. How do you feel about that?
Like I said, it's hard because I do somewhat have a self awareness of this maybe not being a problem right now. I know it could definitely become an issue, and right now I just don't feel the need to stop that.
Yeah, okay. Well, change is never easy, and I think it's good to acknowledge that. Although I'm curious, what are some reasons you might have for considering a change in your relationship with alcohol?
It is definitely affecting my health.
Okay.
Um, at least I think it is. I'm not sleeping as well as I used to.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I feel tense around other people if I have not been drinking. There's not tense, but there is an anxiety building when I'm around other people.
Right, okay.
Um, it is affecting my personal relationships as well.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I'm starting to feel distant from others, but I, I don't know. I sometimes think about the crowd that I spend my time with, and if that has any effect on what I do, or mm,
Yeah, okay. Well, it's completely understandable to have mixed feelings. On one hand, you see the impact that it's having on your health, your sleep, you know, socializing. But on the other hand, there's a sense of comfort and familiarity that comes with drinking. So, I guess if you were to imagine a future where you have a healthier relationship with alcohol, what do you think that that would look like for you?
well, I really enjoy autonomy,
Okay.
and I don't want my life to be well, these are only the times that I can drink. Like,
Okay.
I set aside a Monday or a Tuesday, and those are the days that I drink. But I want to have a healthy enough relationship with alcohol where I don't even have to think about that. It's just, oh, hey, I feel like a beer, but it ends there. And I tend to find myself, once I have that one beer, it just keeps going. And I have that extra drink that I didn't want to have.
Yeah. Okay, so it sounds like you do have a vision of a healthier and more balanced life, a healthier relationship with alcohol in mind. Do you have an idea of what some small steps could be that you could take towards that?
I think, I guess I could start by finding other outlets for my coping,
Mm-hmm.
maybe some healthier options. Right now, I definitely don't have any way to spend my time. I don't
Mm-hmm.
have a hobby that I do. So if I'm not doing anything, I start to think too much, and that's when I want to drink. I, I struggle because I don't necessarily want to be with people, but I don't want to be alone.
Mm-hmm.
So I drink so that I can be with other people. So I think it's also a relationship thing as well. How do I work with people and also have this healthy relationship with alcohol?
Yeah, okay. So it sounds like there could be maybe some other potential ways to handle stress or depression or socializing that doesn't include drinking. Um, I think that's a fantastic idea. I think these small, manageable changes, things that we can implement, can often lead to bigger shifts over time. So, I guess now I want to ask, how confident are you feeling about making this change?
Not very.
Not very, okay.
Well, it can be scary. Um, it's sometimes things of like, what if I'm only able to be around people if I'm
Mm-hmm.
drinking? What if people only like me if I've been drinking? And so making that kind of big change is definitely scary and for sure unknown. And I have tried I've tried these small strategies before, but they all never really click for me and they don't necessarily work. So I don't know, I just get worried that nothing is going to work.
Yeah, okay. Well, I think it's absolutely fair to be a little bit scared. And I also want to let you know, I mean, it's very common to have setbacks when making these changes. And it doesn't mean that you failed. I think it's part of the process. But what do you think could be different this time? You said that you've tried this before and failed. Do you think you could point to anything that could be different this time around? Different strategies, different support that might be helpful this time around?
I think communication with my partner would be really, really helpful. I find myself trying not to be sneaky or hide it, but it's not something I'm upfront about.
Okay.
And so I think explicitly communicating to my partner that this is something that I want to try and this is something that I'm going to be scared to try, and hopefully I can get some support from them to help me make this change.
I think that sounds like a fantastic plan. I think it's really important to build those support systems and have alternative coping strategies. And, I'm also here to support you. I'm in your corner on this as well. And so I want to ask, we're talking about the confidence of how you feel about making these changes. And I know it sounds a little bit scary. On a scale of 1 to 10, how are you feeling about implementing these changes, say, tomorrow or within the week?
Well, if you ask me right now, I would say I'm at a solid 7 or
Okay.
8, but I also have a fear of tomorrow when I wake up, will I still feel that?
Okay,
Or
right.
will it drop down?
Yeah, and I think motivation is subject to change, but now that one makes me want to ask, why say a 7 instead of, a 3 or a 4, for example? Why that bump to 7?
Because I want to change. I
Okay.
Part of it is I do see that alcohol can be damaging to relationships and health,
Yeah.
but also on a personal note, I want to know that I can make a change about myself if I want to. If there is something that is not fitting with me and my
Mm-hmm.
life, I want to make sure that I have the ability and the confidence to do that. And I worry that I get too scared, so I end up just getting stuck.
Yeah. It kind of sounds a little bit like, kind of trying to prove to yourself that you have that autonomy. We talked about
Yeah,
autonomy in the
yeah.
beginning of our session. And yeah, so it sounds like the want to be healthy and have good relationships and such is really important to you. And I think that's going to be a great motivator for making some of these small steps. And I mean, I'm feeling really good about it. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling better.
Okay.
I, those still there's fear there and the worry, but I think I have a little bit more confidence in having you to back me up as well as my partner.
Of course.
Um, yeah, Yeah, I will just communicate and to both of you about what's going on, and I'm really worried about faltering.
Yeah. Well, I think you have some great ideas in how we can start this. And as I said earlier, I mean, faltering is a part of the process, and I want you to not be too hard on yourself when that happens. I don't want you to think you're a failure for it because, faltering is what leads us to progress in making these changes. And I like that you said, communicate. I think that'll be very, very helpful to, have me on your side, to have your partner on your side, maybe some friends.
Yeah.
But I think this is great. Let's continue to explore these steps in our next session. And
I would love that.
yeah, let's do it. Awesome. Well, I will see you next time.
Thank you, Doc. I will see you later.